PSG beat them, and they beat them fair and square. There is a revenge element, and that was the whole discussion that we had after Bukayo Saka said what he said, that he knows who he wants in the Champions League final. Some said Bayern, some said PSG. It's kind of like a pick your poison between the two, and PSG up against Arsenal are definitely the favorites, but it's 90 minutes of football.
Final where Arsenal will try and stop PSG from defending their title in Budapest. It's Saturday, May 30th. Chuck, how are you feeling about that, by the way, just before we talk about the conference?
Easy money.
Easy?
No.
How confident could you be
really,
feeling?
Honestly, it's house money is what it is. Won the Premier League.
The pressure's off.
Yeah, the pressure's off.
Really?
Yeah.
The pressure's off. You've never won the Champions League. How's the pressure off?
Because the pressure to win a trophy, if they somehow fumbled the Premier League and everything was riding on this Champions League trophy, I think the scenario is much different. They're out partying till 5 a.m.
The valve was released yesterday significantly.
So now they're coming in. Of course, they're motivated to win the first European trophy, but the added pressure that comes with, we got to do it, we're stiff, to let's just be ourselves, we play the game. If we win, great, first European trophy. We lose, we got the Prem. There's a different vibe, there's a different feeling heading into that match now for Arsenal. I think the fear is gone.
The season is already a success, and it can only get better. It feels like saying it's a cherry on top minimizes how big the Champions League is. Then you know what? It's a massive cherry. This could be from a successful season to a historic season.
Iconic.
Yeah.
And to throw that into perspective, you're talking about an Arsenal side that comes into this competition feeling, and into this final feeling, man, last year, I thought we were the better side than PSG. I thought we did enough. Donnarumma stood on his head. There's a little bit of a payback element to this as well, to say, hey, we get a second chance at them now. They are the top team. By the way, Chelsea beat them in the Club World Cup. I know they were fatigued, but we're going to have our opportunities. We just have to continue to stick to our game plan, which is let everyone call us boring. That's fine with us. If we win, we win. And I think that's a good way to go into this.
It's a one-off game.
Wouldn't you agree,
matter.
though, Nigel, is less pressure now for Arsenal now that they have won the Premier League and they're celebrating and they've got huge success this season already?
Yeah, it depends what boat you want to be in. But you talk about mentality monsters winning, like the boys just discussed there. This is an opportunity to make a historic achievement. To win the Premier League and to win the club's first ever Champions League, that should be the focus now. Yeah, Premier League's done, no problem. We can enjoy it fully after we get this Champions League out the way. So the focus for me of where they're at right now should be like, let's be ready and locked in to win this Champions League. You talk about mentality monsters and clubs at the highest level, what they do and how they get their players like that. That's, I think, the focus and how it should be. Because a club like Arsenal, we see how long it took PSG. The players they bought, the managers they went through, everything they wanted was the Champions League. They got it. Manchester City won Premier League titles when the new money come in, this new ownership group, best players, best managers, winning Premier League titles, dominating. What do they want next? The Champions League. Arsenal falls in that same bracket.
Who would you rather be in this Champions League final? Arsenal, having already won the Premier League and with a chance to have greatness, or PSG, the favourites in the game?
I think for me, I've always liked that underdog story anyway. So Arsenal are going into this as the underdogs. They're not going in as the favourites. PSG have the history. They've got the best manager in world football right now, when no one can argue it's Luis Enrique. And
you okay?
Are you okay?
He's imagining the final
Charlie
already.
is thinking about them lifting the trophy.
Are you okay? Are you worried about who's starting right back for Arsenal or what?
I was listening to you.
He's going through the scenarios. Listen, if PSG goes back-to-back after never having won the Champions League,
That takes them to another level now.
So takes Luis Enrique to another level.
if you really think about it,
already the best manager in the world.
you said the word iconic. If you really think about it, whoever wins the Champions League is going to have an iconic moment. We talked about the possibility of PSG being a dynasty when they won the first one in style with gusto, 5-0 against Inter. All right, hold your horses, pump the brakes. Winning back-to-back Champions League is very difficult if you're like not Real Madrid.
Yeah.
They're this close. And if Arsenal wins it, the double Prem Champions League,
It'll be amazing. And again, what you just said there is a fantastic point, because back-to-back Champions League for PSG, they've been searching just for one. And now to do that, it opens them to another level. You talk about worldwide fan base, the young people coming through, people love to be attached to winners. It takes the club to another level if they could do that back-to-back. But
it'd be amazing as well for Luis Enrique, especially with this squad of players after Neymar, Mbappe and Messi all left, and now you go back-to-back. If you are Mikel Arteta, do you change anything though, Charlie? You said Arsenal fans are happy to play whatever style of football just as long as they win.
Yeah, Poppy, I think you should definitely change things when you've gone perfect in the Champions League this year.
So you're just going to go as is?
You've played Bayern Munich, you've also won, so you've gone perfect in the Champions League this season, and you want to change now?
For a one-off game, though, you wouldn't change anything.
We'll change it right back.
Well, you couldn't do anything with Timber being injured. You know, you hope that Timber gets.
Is he out completely for the final?
He's training apparently, but listen,
he's not out completely. But
it's going to be a great game.
All of a sudden, you're going to start him in the Champions League final. I don't know, but
it's going to be a great game of football.
Yeah.
It really is. Two different styles, whatever it is. It's a one-off final. Like you said, there's different elements and different mentality aspects we can look into it. But I said it before, and I said it at the start, and we even had arguments about it, Poppy. I said from a while ago, PSG, for me, still to this day, I said, are the best team in the world from what I've seen. They are the best football team in the world. From top to bottom, they're the best team.
You know what's a massive talking point that I don't think a lot of people made? The fact that the Premier League is over for them. On Sunday, they could rotate their squad entirely. They get an extra 5 days of rest before a final. No, but imagine if for Arsenal the season would have gone down to the wire, final match day. You know how mentally stressful that can be, physically taxing? You get 5 days of rest before you go up against a PSG team that's been rotating all year. Take a look at how many minutes Marquinhos has played in the league. Take a look at how many minutes the Ballon d'Or winner has played in the league. They have the luxury of doing that, and Arsenal finally get an extra 5 days off.
But both top teams, they're both in the 1%. You talk about starting lineups, great. You talk about substitute options that they've got off the bench, great. And the level doesn't drop. So it should be a fantastic final.
Is everybody in agreement it's the best two teams in Europe, that we've got a final of the best two?
Yes.
Yeah. And that's special, isn't it? Because obviously, as we know, that doesn't always happen. No, you don't think so?
Looking for people? No, it is. I mean, some people would still argue about Bayern Munich. Yeah. Some people would argue Bayern Munich.
I know it's a different, but you got to go with from start to finish.
Talk about winning mentality. Yes, Arsenal did their job.
In Europe, Arsenal.
Very favourable side.
They won the whole time, all the way through.
Very favourable
to be in the final.
I think it's very funny because a lot of us, myself included, have to almost backtrack a lot of the things that we were saying about Arsenal. I think that's why it's so hard to admit we're one of the best teams in Europe. Well, yeah, because it's not that pretty. Sometimes they decide to be more practical than adventurous and going for winning 3-0. But they've shown consistency more than any other team that they've been playing against. You might like it, you might hate the way that they play football. They win, and they've won the Premier League. They got over the line, and that has an incredible amount of merit.
Think about the way that
Mikel Arteta, he's great as a coach. You can watch him on the bench. Every single match, he's excited. He shows everybody his energy, and he translates that power to their team, to their players, and I can balance very well if you analyze their stats, amazing stats, offensively and defensively. He shows that character every single day, and if I can't speak because we have the experience to play against them 3 or 4 times. I don't remember very well, but it was very difficult, and they can keep the ball clearly without any problems, and we try to keep the ball all the times, every single match, but it was difficult every match against them. And when they are defending, they are great, the best team in Europe with any doubt, and they are comfortable defending in very low, but also pressing hot and pressing high. And yeah, it's going to be an amazing final, exciting final. They are looking forward to playing that final because the last final they lost, I was there as a supporter of FC Barcelona in Paris. I remember that with my son Pacho, and it was nice because Barcelona won. And I hope Paris can beat them, but it's going to be a crazy match, difficult, very tough match.
Well, it promises to be a cracking final, doesn't it, in Budapest between Arsenal and PSG.